Welcome to this week's assembly. The topic is World Book Day, which we are celebrating on Friday. I'm hoping you're all coming dressed up as your favourite character or book genre or anything kind of book inspired. This year World Book Day is celebrating its 25th year. Interestingly, that is also how old the Harry Potter books are this year. They have just turned 25. So obviously we're going to be talking about reading today and the importance of reading, and I'm sure that many of you will have read some of the books that you can see on the screen here. So have you ever read a book by David Walliams, Gangster Granny or The Midnight Gang or Grandpa's Great Escape? Or one of these, The Diary of the Wimpy Kids. These are quite popular stories in the library. Or even this, so maybe you're not a big reader of a book, but have you read the instructions for a PS5 controller, PS4 controller? Have you read the labels on, a garment when you're about to wash it? Or these, have you ever switched on the telly to look at the football scores or even looked them up on your phone? Do you take notice of signs, things like speed cameras, cycle lanes, traffic lights, where you're going? Do you read signs? And even if the answer was no to all of the above, I'm sure you've read messages like this. You all read messages all the time, or captions on reels or TikTok videos, but you all read all the time. So what's the point? What point am I making? So the point is, we read all day, every day, and you don't even know you're doing it. Reading helps us make sense of the world around us and gives us the opportunity to experience worlds that we don't know exist. So one of the reasons I'm a big fan of reading is because it opens up your eye to the world, to things that you may not be aware of or have seen because of your limited experience or your background. It really gives us the opportunity to see the world in a different way. It allows you to escape into other lives, worlds and galaxies, but it also allows you to learn new ideas and facts and ways of interpreting and understanding the world around you. Other examples of everyday reading in school are things like where you look at the definition of a word in English, or you follow the instructions to complete a problem in maths, or following a method in science. We read all the time, all day long, everywhere we go, you're reading. So there are loads of examples of that. So imagine a world with no words. I know there's quite a few of you go, oh, I hate reading, I don't like it. But imagine that those words just magically disappeared. What would we call a PS5? How would we be able to express ourselves? What would our names be? What would our street names be? How would we find directions? What about music and lyrics? How would we send messages to friends? How would we communicate if there were no more words? So a world without words is a horrifying, place to be. Reading is massively important, and that's what I want you to think about today. So there are over 130 million books in print right now across the world, and reading has been scientifically proven to make you smarter and, more importantly, happier. So there's a direct correlation between how much you read and how well you do at GCSE. And how well you do in life. So reading really provides opportunities to make you smarter, but also happier. On average, pupils who read 15 minutes or less a day will only encounter 1.5 million words during their time at school, which seems like a massive amount of words. However, if a pupil reads 30 minutes a day, they will have read over 13 million words during their time at school. Think about how you could use all of those words. This is the recommended amounts that you're expected to do every day to reach and maintain your reading age. So even if you've got a reading age of 14, if you do not read 30 minutes a day, you can regress, you can go backwards. So the recommended amount is 30 minutes every day of reading. So the average reading age at the studio is only 11, which is year 7. So a maths GCSE paper is typically aimed at students with a reading age of 16. 16. So if you don't have a reading age of 16, you'll struggle to access that paper. That's why reading is so important. Surprisingly, the English GCSE tends tends to be between the ages of 14 and 15, but things like maths and science are significantly higher because of the terminology. It's harder words. So reading is going to be massively important to your GCSEs. The other events that are happening today, so Mrs. Murray, me, and Mr. Grand will be touring the school and judging the costume competition. The winner will receive a brand new Kindle. There'll be a book and bookmark sale in the dining hall at break. Come see me if you would like to buy one of those. All 9 and 10 classes will be introduced to our Readathon month in a special World Book Day theme lesson. Remember that I will be judging the photographic and graphic arts competition. It's not too late to enter. So remember, the theme of that competition was reimagining a famous book cover in whatever format that you wanted to do that in. And all classes today will be listening to a selection of short stories at the start of each lesson, whether it be English, maths, science, graphics, film. You'll all be listening to 4 short stories over the course of the day. What I'd really like you to take away from today and from World Book Day this week is that you'll make a promise to read more in whatever format that is, but a commitment to yourself to read more. So here are some things that you could do. 1, try reading something new, a newspaper, a magazine, download a news app, or try a non-fiction book. You know, we've got great links with Darwin Library. Head down there and see if there's something that you might be interested in. 2, be really thankful for access to books at home, in school and on devices. You are very, very fortunate to have the facilities that we have, you know, to have a reading library, to have access to Darwin Library, to have books awarded as prizes. You know, be really thankful for that. Many, many children don't have that privilege. 3, use your reading lesson properly. So all of 9 and 10, you get a designated hour a week to read. Use it. You know, it has tons of new books that we've spent thousands and thousands of pounds investing in. You're very lucky to be given this time during the week. Many schools do not set a time for reading, but we know at the studio how important it is to your GCSE and future success. 4, talk about stories and things you've read with other friends. Recommend books to them. Share books. You know, if you've won a book as a prize, pass it on to somebody else. You know, swap ideas. Reading is so important. It's important for your friends as well to see that you're reading. And 5, take a second to remember that reading directly impacts everything you do. Even if you think it doesn't, the more you read, the more successful you will be. Thank you very much, Year 9 and 10.